Hello everyone, my name is Angelica and welcome to my channel. I hope you are all ready for a few new inspirations and DIY projects. In today's video, I've decided to create few new home decorations on the lowest possible budget. And to be able to do it, I had to use my rubbish. So yes, today I'm transforming my trash into treasure. It's crazy how many waste we produce every day, and some of it can be repurposed and lasts us longer than we think. So I've collected 3 items which I was going to throw away and change them into really cool decorations instead. But before I start with my first project, click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post new content every single week, so if you don't want to miss my future projects or videos, make sure to click the notification bell as well. And now without any further ado, let's jump right into the first transformation. For my first project, I've decided to reuse this round cardboard container after cotton buds. It's made out of really thick cardboard, so I knew it will be strong enough to last me much longer than this. To create the flatted effect, I will be using wooden skewers. They are so inexpensive and during barbecue season you can find them in most of the shops. I'm starting with the flat, not the pointy end. I will cover only the bottom part of my container. I put it straight with the line and then mark where it's supposed to end. Using sharp pliers, I cut this length out. This small stick will work as my template. I will be always trying to use this one to measure how long I have to cut the other sticks. I simply place it next to the longer piece and cut it at the same length what the other one is. And then I just repeat the process. From one long stick I can create 4 smaller ones. I've cut plenty of them for the whole container. Now it's time to attach them. I'm using hot glue, but I'm sure any other glue would work as good. I put small amount of glue as it dries out so quick and then glue the small stick to it. When I glue it, I press the stick down to my worktop. This way I try to keep them all straight and in the same line. To make this process slightly quicker, I take 3 sticks at a time and glue them to the container. Gluing one by one was definitely too time-consuming process. Once they are all attached, I take rough sanding paper and sand down the ends of sticks to make them nice and straight. Even I tried to cut them to the same length, they would never be exactly the same. That's why this sanding is so helpful. I've decided to go crazy and paint this container pink. I'm using acrylic paint and a white brush and I cover all the wooden sticks. In the center of the lid, I'm creating hole. I want to add more details to this container by including some rope to its design. I'm checking if the hole is big enough and then paint it whole pink as well. Once it's dry, I push my folded in half rope and secure it in place by creating a knot. I use very thick rope so it's strong enough to just sit straight up. I cut the excess rope off, place the lid back onto the container and my cute little storage box is ready. This project I wanted to try out for a while, but of course I had to wait to collect this amount of toilet rolls. I know you can also use your old magazines or newspapers, but I thought empty toilet roll is more trashy item, perfect for this video. I take a bowl and start tearing each roll into small pieces. Don't have to be perfect, but quite small, so it will be easy to blend them. It seems to be a lot of cardboard, but it actually won't give a lot of final product, so keep that in mind when planning your project. I take boiling water straight from the kettle and start pouring it over the paper. Fair amount so it's all covered with water. I leave it for a few minutes to fully soak in and also let the water cool down a little bit. Using hand blender, I blend my mixture of paper and water. I mix it on small settings so it doesn't splash everywhere. After a few seconds, everything turns into ugly looking paste. I take strainer and 2 extra bowls, one for drained water and one for the dry paper. I take small amount of my mixture at the time and move it to the strainer where I press it down, removing any excess water. I move it around and press harder, then when I think it's quite dry, I move it to another clean bowl. And I just repeat the process with all the wet paper. After I've done this and the water cooled down completely, I take small amount of this blended paper and squeeze it in my hand to remove even more water. Now I have to separate these big pieces into smaller and more loose parts, almost like creating crumbs for your cake. If there is some bigger parts which are not blended properly, I just stir them in my hands. Take the bowl which size you want to recreate and wrap cling film around it. It will help removing the new bowl from it once it's dry. To create paper mache and to be actually able to stick this loose paper together, you will need some glue. I'm using this PVA glue, but you can use any glue like a Mod Podge or school glue. I even seen a recipes with using flour instead of glue. To mix it all together, I will be using my hands, that's why I put the gloves on. I think mixing it with the hands helps this glue combine with the paper much better. You could also water this glue down, but I think there is still fair amount of water soaked in the paper, so I'm skipping this process. And it also would take much longer to dry out. After everything is well combined, I can start creating my bowl shape. I take small parts of this paste at the time and move it onto my glass bowl. I start from the top and then gradually I add more on the sides. I press it down to achieve same thickness all around. I also make sure all parts are sticking together nicely without leaving any gaps. I try to keep the top edge of my new bowl nice and straight all around. To smooth the surface slightly down and make sure it creates one big and solid construction, I'm using small spatula. I don't try to smooth it too much as I want to keep this organic paper mache texture. Once the bowl shape is done, I'm creating little balls which I randomly attach to the bowl surface. It's just a little addition to the design of this bowl which I thought might look quite cute. Once it's all done, I place the bowl on the table just to give the new bowl nice and straight bottom. I turn it upside down and in this position I leave it till fully dry. After 2 full days of drying, I removed the new bowl slightly from the glass one and left it for a few more hours to dry inside. I've mixed some sand color acrylic paint with the white one and I covered my whole new bowl. I want to keep more of the organic look, that's why I don't pay too much attention with covering it all perfectly. With my sticky note balls, I've decided to paint them in dark green. I've also painted the inside of the bowl and my paper mache project is ready. I'm quite impressed with what you can create out of toilet roll. I like this almost antique look to it. For my last but not least project, I've decided to repurpose this big can. I removed the lid and cleaned it. I took it outside and gave it few layers of black spray paint. After it was all dry, I could start working on the special detail for this can. I've got this kind of wooden table mat which I've thrifted long ago. I've actually created another DIY project using this mat as I got few of them. First, I have to measure how high I want this mat to be. I basically want to cover all the lines on the can, so only the small part of black can will be visible. To cut it, I've started using pliers. It was actually quite hard to cut this material with them, so I swapped it for scissors and it went much smoother. Butter on this mat helps me cutting in the straight line, but I still have to be careful as it moves a lot on the sides. Once the strap is cut, I straighten it and measure how long exactly I need it to be. Because the way this mat is created, I have to cut it few centimeters longer to be able to make the knots and secure the mat construction. I remove few spare sticks and tie the knots with all the loose thread. Once this is done, I can attach it to my can. I'm using hot glue, making sure it sticks nicely and it's straight line. Nice and modern looking vase for holding your cutlery, office supplies, or it works perfect as a vase for your flowers. I hope you enjoyed this video and these projects. What do you think about giving second life to your rubbish? I think all these projects came out pretty well. They don't look tacky or like rubbish anymore. Good for planet and also for your pockets. Leave your thoughts down below. Also follow me on Instagram when I try to post more often about home decor and my lifestyle. So if you want to be a part of it, I would be more than happy. And for now, thank you so much for watching, your support, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!